Because Vibrant Visuals is a cosmetic enhancement that does not impact gameplay, you can use it on realms with friends whether they have Vibrant Visuals enabled or not. This means that I can look at people's worlds that were built long before this graphical enhancement, whether or not the user has it turned on, and see if it actually improves things. And because I love sharing build inspiration, I'll use this format of specifically sharing nice builds for every single world, as well as one thing I think they do terribly. It's going to be a lot of fun, and so join me for this one, because it's Realm Review Vibrant Visuals Edition. So this is our first real realm, and as you can see, it looks really good. There's an alley with a birthday hat, but I imagine it could look even better with Vibrant Visuals. Wow, it really does look better, sans the video game character, which actually you can see even here. I was expecting to lose that, but because of realms, we lose literally no render distance. Everything just starts looking better. But yeah, there is a big arrow here leading me towards a chest that says Toy Cat next to it. So presumably this is, this is so I can write a message. This is so I don't starve together. Here is a dried ghast, here is an elytra, and for the Nether Hub. Okay, that's very nice of them. So a downside of Vibrant Visuals is it broke Agent Mindstorm's animated texture tutorial. If you turn VV off, this guy will be animated. Now, I could be wrong on the definition of animated, but he looks pretty animated to me. And so do these guys as well. Anyway, this is the world, and I'm looking forward to ignoring the weird floating ghasts and instead going for a bit of an exploration around to find 10 builds that I think are interesting. And immediately, I won't name it as one of the builds, but I love the fact that this seems like it's some quirky, crazy terrain that's been connected by bridges everywhere, but I'm just looking for a bed, so if you could tell me where one is, Bob the seller. Oh, He's not going to sell me anything. I'm just going to ride him all day. Ride him about his high prices, maybe. Oh, God, there's no bed in here either. This is... I've got lots of things I'd like to say about the world that are positive so far, but I haven't found a single bed, and so the way we're skipping the night seems to be literally by skipping through it, but that's entirely fine. Let's talk about what I've liked about the world so far. First things first, my first favourite build is this cake. I think that something we need to do, especially, you know, as like YouTubers or people who are sharing their opinions, is to concede that big mega builds are exciting sometimes, but I think it's impressive when you can take a 7x7, or in this case it's more like 9x9 space, and you can make a really cool two-layered cake that looks kind of Minecrafty while also having a bunch of unique personality. I absolutely love that. I also, you know, I have a soft spot in my heart for a build like this, that basically, again, rather than being a mega house, it's still going to be pretty close by to each other while having some innovative designs on like how to make the crops look like they're crops or like a flower, and how to have a bunch of furnaces while still hopefully having a bed. No, there's no bed in here either. But yeah, again, tiny house, but still very, very dense on storage, very dense on all the tables you'll need, and presumably it has a place to sleep. No, it does not. But still, this is a cool house design. It just isn't a house, I guess. Also, it's got a few too many carrots for my liking, but like using some muddy roots, I think this is actually cool design in a way that I haven't seen in a while. So the third build that I think is interesting is, I think, all the way over there. Oh, it's cool! The texture pack they put on the world has a little message flash up telling you what day it is. The texture pack also has floating glow squids, so I'm not going to say it's the best thing I've ever seen, but they made it themselves, it sounds like, using Agent Mindstorm's tutorial. If you don't know, Agent Mindstorm works with us on IBX Toy Maps, and has made some of the coolest, you know, like most useful packs out there for preview hiders, for, you know, like taking Bedrock Edition, making it look like console. Love so many of the things he's done, and it's cool that a lot of you do too. Anyway, this is the third build that I'd like to share with you. It's Sans. Sorry, that's all. I like the look of Sans. I think 2D pixel art is, you know, easy to do in like the blocky style, but this is a 2D pixel art that looks great without having to have an outline. The fourth build I quite like here is this. As you can see, it's clearly some form of, I'm going to guess, church or library based on what I see inside. But instead of having a clock tower, which is impossible to do in Minecraft without just putting a clock in an item frame, they put a lodestone up there, making this a constant point of reference for someone's compass. In fact, the compasses might be in that first chest that I had at spawn, but either way, I love this, and whoever's house it is got rated an 8 out of 10 by some random with a sign, and so what's not to love about that? You can see that when you're in here, It really is a build that is great in lots of ways. It has a bed even. Wow, this is the only bed in the world and it's inside a church library. I guess it's too late to use it. The one thing I would say is this is a build that could probably benefit from having the windows on the north and south side, unless they're specifically trying to angle it away from the sun, in which case this is perfect. You know, sometimes people say I miss obvious things. In this case, they made an animated arrow, which I really love, just to tell me to read this, which is the guide for what they've done. So, Snow Boys, let me read about what's happening in your world. So, this is Season 3, Part 2, because it's not really a different season, and there's no point. Season 3 is at -9642. There's no established build, anything can be built. So this isn't just a single-person server, I am seeing different builds from different people, which would explain why there are so many houses close together, but only one cake, which I guess is for turning one in this world. Let's go see the rest of the builds, though. There's a night shop underneath spawn. That's kind of goofy. I always feel like trading on servers is one of the coolest ideas that just doesn't function in reality because people play Minecraft asynchronously. I feel like the only solution would be everyone has to be on at certain hours, and that's not really that fun to do in a video game, which is sad. Anyway, speaking of sad, let's go through the Nether. I hear there's a hub. I have a boat specifically named that way. Let's see what we can do with it. I know it's strange that I have such a special interest in Minecraft bridges, but I do think they're one of the coolest things you can add to a world. This is such a cool version of it, though. Using a bridge as also a Nether portal is such a nice touch. I mean, in theory, you could just go around it, but kind of forcing people to go through it is such a fun little way to connect over what isn't even a river. It's just a small piece of ocean and then a hill. I love this so much, and it's going to be a great introduction to what is hopefully a great Nether. Oh yeah, this is an exciting looking Nether. I cannot say honestly, but I can ride a boat. Whoa! Does putting the string down make it go faster or something? But let's ride the boat out to Season 3, 9,000 blocks away. So yeah, I feel like glow signs are just a bit broken right now. The biggest problem obviously being what happens when you get too close to them. Like, oh yeah, I just want to read this sign. Shouldn't be much of an issue, right? Oh no! Okay, let's go seriously though, this way. So we outran the world generation a bit there. A lot here it seems. But that means we found ourselves at a portal. Should I bring my piglin friend with me? I think I should. It'd be rude to leave him here. No, 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 no! I'm so glad that there is a backup boat in this chest. Oh, it's amazing that we went across the world and now the entire style seems to have changed. Like, here is a house that looks so much like, I don't know, suburban, southwestern United States. It looks like a TV show house is what I'm saying. They've got a garage, which is much better organized than any I've ever seen. And then you climb a ladder to get to the second floor, which I have actually seen before. Honestly, I'm amazed we don't do that. I guess, like, if you live somewhere, climbing a ladder would be boring. And if you're not, like, if you're above the age of 30, maybe that would get, you know, terrible. But I love the idea of ladders to say, so much of my house is taken up by the stair space. If I had a ladder, I could put beds there. I could put, I don't know, cupboards there. I could put a giant flat screen TV where my stairs are currently using. And that is such a waste. So I don't actually like this build very much. I think it's notable, but I wouldn't be, like, excited to build this ever. Whereas I can say that the opposite is true about this. As you can see, it's a giant... I think it's a tree that they surrounded with glass and then built a giant staircase around. Admittedly, you can see here how much of a thing is wasted by stairs, but it's such a cool way to build an anything, and it's only kind of ruined by the clouds. Which, just as a fun fact, I learned recently you can find the creeper-shaped hole in the clouds on Bedrock 2. And so, yeah, they added it to Java first, then they later added it to Bedrock. I never heard this, but I'm going to go look for it now. I'm going to fly up on my subscribers' world, and I hope that they know forever that it's the first world I ever found that pattern on. Presuming I can find it, I don't know. I've heard it's here on Bedrock, from people I trust. But this is why it's important to verify. After a few minutes of looking, I can definitely say the results are inconclusive, to say the least. Anyway, let's take a peek at what else is happening around here. So this is also... I feel like so many of these builds kind of represent the issue with having so many more dark materials in Minecraft. It's so easy to go mining for a bunch of deep slate, put it in a house, and for that house to just kind of look a bit too... I think modern might be the word. Oh, look, do you see in the bottom left, there's a perpetual clock, recovery compass, and regular compass. That's kind of cool. I have joined this world so many times today, trying to get it to work with vibrant visuals. I assumed at first it was, as you can see from my locator bar, the fact that there's multiple other people in here, maybe someone has it set to fancy, but I went and checked, and that isn't officially a reason for it not working, and so after trying many a thing, I realized what it was. They had actions and stuff enabled, and so on my third visit, they've turned this off. So keep in mind, if you want anyone in your world to have vibrant visuals, it doesn't matter what your settings are, but you can't have a resource pack enabled, especially not actions and stuff, and especially given I'm not a big lover of actions and stuff as it is, but I think that vibrant visuals look so much better, and it's free. So turn off your resource packs if you want your friends to have a good time, especially if your friend is specifically here to look at your world in vibrant visual. And yeah, let's go see what's around here. This is a terrible sign. I want to be able to read it, but it's like slightly too high up there. I'm now entering Goldtopia. Let's see if they have some nice builds. Okay, so my first thing I'm going to say I love is really silly, but you can see that they've built up all around this water, and so it's very, very dense while you're inside of it. It's nicely pathed and everything, but what looks incredible is seeing everything that I've just looked at from the water. And so my first impressive build here is nothing they've done, but the bridges and the having, you know, like, I think manicuring your water and the access next to it has always kind of been like a for yourself thing, but now it actually looks incredible. And so build one that I like is their kind of water wall and their piers and stuff. I like it. Hello, I'm a boss. Do you want to be my boss? Oh, he's got a book for me. I'm so confused. You know how sometimes people will give me like some food or some armor or some transportation? I've never been given 2 blank name tags and a bizarre enchanted book before. But I'm gonna try and follow the guy and see if maybe there's something in here for me. No, there really is not. Where did he go? He just vanished. Okay, this is maybe a controversial opinion, and this is a bad example of what it is, because someone's looted all the regular potatoes, and so now all we have is poisonous potatoes to eat. Not exactly my favorite food, but this right here, this magical crop... Wow, we got pretty lucky on that first one. This magical crop farm that we're looking at together is actually really good looking in vibrant visuals, right? Also, can you believe my luck? I ate so many of those, and it barely even poisoned me. Yes, yes, yes. The poisoned potato is the best food. So yeah, I'm not really finding great builds in this server so far. I'm sure they exist. I'm just not finding them. Okay, here is something ridiculous, but apparently it builds into the world lore. The Goldtopian Correctional Facility. This is a ludicrous area that's been dug out of a mountain, and the reason it exists is because you know how people get inspired to build things they see in the real world? This person went past the prison so many times, they were like, you know, why don't we have a prison inside of Minecraft where we can lock people in cells? And I could answer that with many good answers. But you know, I think if someone's going to daydream about, you know, having castles and manors, someone needs to daydream... Oh, close for infection. Someone needs to daydream about having warden's offices and places to lock people and infections, apparently. This is silly. This is very silly. Oh, I'm running out of food again because poisoned potatoes aren't that good. So I guess we'll just eat all of these back up to max. Oh. Only poisoned once. Nice. Yeah, I'm looking at another bridge that I really love. This one kind of looks like an aqueduct, but it's clearly meant for people. I love bridges. Is that really what I'm learning from this? Yeah, this is an artsy house right here. Look at this. They've deliberately left random blocks missing, almost as if there was a fire, to simulate what would happen were you not subscribed to the IBX Toycat YouTube channel. Because it has been statistically proven that greater than 99.9% of house fires happen to people who aren't subscribed to this channel, and so showing that via art, very, very nice, very beautiful. I'm sure there actually was just a fire here, because they weren't subscribed, and presumably over here as well. I think I'm running across the griefed corner of the world, actually. Oh, I'm sorry. This wasn't me, I swear. I've gotten myself very close to the verge of death, but before I die, I want to see if there's any great builds over here. Oh, I've never seen this. It's got to be something... Wait, what? Do you get more lava if you rotate your cauldrons around? That feels like that can't be true. I'm presuming at some point they take out the lava from the cauldrons. No. It's an automatic... I mean, they must do, right? How does this work? I like this as an idea, but you don't even need to make it like a functional farm. I think if you made any block rotate like this, with random sources of light and random not sources of light, you could make something really nice. Kind of like the arrow from the past world. Yeah, I think my overall feedback of this world is it's very, very randomly located. Things aren't laid out in any way that is obvious to an observer. And I think that's why mapping your world is important. Not necessarily... Oh, I can't go to bed. Mapping your world is important, even if not necessarily for other people. I mean, I don't think most people assume that some stranger will just look around their world by yourself. But it's really important to map your world for yourself, even, because I think that it can be easy to get lost as to whether this house is your main house or the other house. Even though this is a multiplayer server, there's 3 people on here, maybe another, 7 that play sometimes. Even with 10 people, there are so many more than 10 houses, because everyone just builds a different house every time they want one, and then ultimately... Wait, we did skip the night. And so ultimately you just end up in a bit of a weird place where no one's quite sure where anything is. Having in-game lore of, there's Goldtopia, that's a faction, I believe. Having that is important, but so too is having some more better mapping system. Maybe a big place where you can go see it all, or maybe even, some big spawn monument. Because without it, a world just feels like a random collection of things that people have built, which is fine when it's 1 or 2 of you, and if you don't care if anyone to see it, and you don't care about organization. In the same way that keeping your real-life room messy doesn't matter, but if you've got company over, you should clean that room. And even if you don't, you probably would feel better if you did. By the way, I think this is my first time using the locator bar since it actually came out. I know, I don't play enough multiplayer. Well, actually, I play exactly the amount of multiplayer I want. But look, you can see how far away these people are. They're tiny pluses. Whereas the orange person, who gave me these things, I should probably go pay them back, they are much closer. And so I could probably make it over to them. Ah! Oh, they've gone missing. What? They were right. They're crouching. I think they're trying to hide from me. They literally vanished as I got trapped in there. Well, I guess if you see this, Mr. Orange Man, here are your items back. Thank you for lending me to them. Well, number 3 is Tuck D Boss's Forever World. I am loving the look of this world, by the way, and I'm loving the simplicity. Again, I think that dense builds aren't a bad... Wait! Oh, that's my build! Sorry, but I'm loving the simplicity. I don't think that having dense builds is a bad thing, but I think it is kind of cool just to see contrasts, and that's why I recommend any cool thing you see in this video, rather, anything you dislike in this video, build from what you dislike about what you've seen. You might actually have more fun and make something better than if you try to replicate something perfectly. I think inspiration, good inspiration at least, always works that way. And so now, let's go on a little journey. I've got food, I've got tools, let's see what I find. Well, first things first, I already see something I kind of like the look of. It's a cherry house with sandstone for the accent block. It's a Dorito-shaped pink mansion. Oh, this is also one of the... This is something else I've tried to make. Very, very, very cool. I like it. It looks like they've done a better job than me, honestly. So, I've got a bit of a problem on my hands. I feel like I recognize about 2/3 of the builds here as being ones I've done before. Like, look at that. Custom desert wells, the little Neverwalk farm. And so, if I say any of these builds are great and ones you should make, then I am kind of complimenting myself. But, let's do that anyway, shall we? Oh, actually, no. Okay, so this is the first build I'd like to compliment today is this. It's a Guardian, but rather than being made from stone, like in the console tutorial, or like in my world, it's made from actual Guardian-colored blocks. And although it's very tiny, it looks so cute. I think, recently quite obsessed with the idea. I spent a long time getting stuck on the Minecraft treadmill of making bigger and bigger builds. But I think making something with fewer blocks can be really impressive. And I absolutely love that little guy. I also love this giant blast furnace, I assume that's what that is, and this house that for some reason has double doors. Oh, this is blasphemous. There's no backdoor access. There are chickens there, though. But there is, in fact, a second story. Wow. An extra high second story. And then there's a top, where, as you can see, it's not sad. It's completely normal to live in an attic. This is kind of cool to see so many of these elements of my world just entirely mixed up. So yeah, I think that you should build a house, and I think that your house should be made out of bricks and wood. This is the best design for a house. It's been proven. There are lots of things in this video that you should look at and say, I could do that better, but this is something that is just perfect the way it is, so why would you want to do it better? You wouldn't is the answer. It's exactly great. So now I'm going to bring some of the food. This is very strange. Why is there... this is the same chest from my world. This is my same trial chamber loot. There has been a lot of duplication happening here. But let's go over to the crafting table house, because I like that a lot. I think my first ever goofy house idea in Minecraft was, what if we made a house out of crafting tables? And I love that to this day, there is still a tradition of continuing these. Yeah, that's my third favorite build so far. As much as I love the giant sniffer that stores sniffers, I think it is a great place to put your sniffers if you have them, and you better believe this person does. I'm going to go ahead and say that the fourth build that I actually like is this World Map 2024, because it partially solves the problem from the last world, but also, this is a cool way to do it. They've got copper on the top. Copper is a great thing to use if you're trying to have like a monument, because obviously it'll age over time, or if you don't let it age, that'll be an interesting point by itself. But then you can see also that this is a great viewpoint to actually look around the world, and so if I'm a little bit confused about what I'm seeing, or where I am on this, I could simply look at the B and see that that is over there, and I can work out I'm roughly over there somewhere. In fact, I think that means I must be here? Or maybe, yeah, I think I'm here, or I'm there. I would suspect there based on the placement. And so now I can use that information to go and find, say, whatever that is. I'm going to go do that right now. But yeah, love the idea of building a world map. I think it's one of my favorite silly projects when you start a world. But I think even better than that is when you take it and you get a little more serious by making a monument around it. And honestly, looking around this world, you might find other things that seem familiar to you, like a big sky rail coming out of a big stone brick building, or a big T-bank, although this is the bank of not Turd Boss, but Tuck D Boss. And here you can see that there is in fact a big health potion with a granite thing on top too. And in fact, also, I didn't even point this out before, but does that look like a giant pot to you as well? I think that as we look around this world and see more and more examples, from this pathway to that lighthouse, to the 2D carrot that I've done next to my giant farm, even the bee, I guess, if we're getting really complicated on things, or even this, my armory, I think that this world is actually a great example of the point that I was making, unwittingly, about taking ideas that you see from the internet. So, first of all, I want to be clear that I actually see it as a great compliment that someone has done this for builds in my world. Someone looked at my pathway idea, or my carrot idea, or my building an armory, you know, like a way to enchant and store enchanted things inside of an anvil. Someone looked at that idea and thought, yeah, actually, I do want to have that. And I think that makes me feel good on the inside. If you build a Let's Play house, or you build, you know, an anvil to store your armed stuff in, or you build a pathway that looks like this, I'm gonna see that as a compliment. Some people are like, no, that's my work, you can't do that, that's my intellectual property, I'll sue you if you do. You know, like, I think that in Minecraft it is the greatest honor for someone to say, yeah, you did awesome, I would love to do something like that. But I would give the advice that actually, if you build like exactly like something you've seen in the world, you know, if you build an exact replica, then, yeah, you'll probably learn a little bit of like, oh yeah, this is what it was like to build. And if you really, really like something, then the replica is going to be perfect. But, oh, this is nice. But I would still say at the same time that you'll probably have a better time if you work out how you can build something like it, but better. So this is the armadillo, like the one I have in my end, and it looks exactly the same. Maybe a tiny bit worse if I'm being a little bit critical with it. But that over there looks like it's a desert temple that's been turned into the entrance to something. And that's a really cool way to turn my ludicrous love of desert temple building into something that you can actually use and has a practical use in your world. I think that, I don't know what it is. I think that a desert temple is kind of a dumb monument if you don't love desert temples. So making a desert castle instead, actually really cool. It has this heritage of a desert temple. And honestly, if you look at this, you probably have no idea it relates to You can maybe just about spot the desert temple resemblance, but that's a really cool way to do something. The same is true for if you really like something about, like, I don't know, like a deep slate forest, but you think it could be done better. Use a different block for the trunks, or building versions of capes that you own. There are so many fun ways that you can take something that exists and make it better, but if you take something that exists and you make it exactly as is, or you make it slightly worse, then I think, you know, you might have a fun time on the project, but you would have a more fun time if you build something that feels truly unique to you, or that feels like it is something that's gone further above and beyond. And so my advice is, if you want to build something that you see from one of my worlds or one of my videos, I can't say on behalf of anyone else, but I can say I think it's such a huge compliment if you take something that I've made and you want to make it yourself. And inside of Minecraft, that's entirely fine. But I will also say, one, it's a bit weird to go through and look at them sometimes. But two, hey, look, it's a torch desert. But two, I would say that there are ways to have derivative ideas that are better than the original, and sometimes that feels like stealing. But if there's anything that we've learned from the last while, I think it's that people don't like their ideas being stolen without them ever knowing it. But most ideas that people have had themselves are ideas that have come from something that existed out there. Whether it's music, art, or Minecraft builds, take something that exists, put your own unique spin on it, and you might create something better than the original. Are these fireflies, or is this meant to be like a weird 3D build that you can only see from some angles? Side note, I think that's a great idea. I don't think it's what they're going for. I do think they just built fireflies. But do you see how from over here, it kind of looked like cat eyes? I like the idea of, like, building a giant face that you can only see from one very particular angle. I think that's a lot of fun. Also, if you are looking to copy builds from the Toycat Let's Play world, for, you know, by themselves or with more stuff, did you know you can download it from the marketplace and then you'd be able to see it in the flesh rather than just from videos? There's an idea for you. Wow. Would I profit if you did that? Yes, I would. That might be a part of why I'm telling you about Toycat's Let's Play World, available for just 660 coins on the marketplace right now. But anyway, let's move on to the final round today. Oh, wait. Is that SpongeBob? Okay, I like this. You can build SpongeBob in your world. I think he's a fun addition too. Just whatever you do, don't be too derivative with it. Look, I took SpongeBob SquarePants' long nose and made it into an ocelot tail. Look, we match. Okay, that was enough fun for today. So this world was called Toycat's Pesky Subscriber, Vibrant Visuals, and it has an official Minecraft loot box in. Ooh, they've got lots of fun things in here. Let's go look at all of those today, shall we? I'll even get a totem of undying, because you never know when you're going to punch the wrong piglin. Let's go on a journey. Oh, this sounds fun too, actually. Let's go on a journey today to all of these things and see what they look like with vibrant visuals. Oh, look. It's the world owner riding on a happy ghast. Wait, can I join him? Oh, this will be my first Gaston Martin. Really, Gaston. But no one calls it a ghast, right? Oh, this is so cool. And Tears is playing, apparently. How did he do that? It's getting louder. This is wild. This is absolutely wild. Look at this world. So, okay, everything in this world's a little bit of a step up from what we've seen before, but I'll still try and look at it and give you the builds that I think are worth looking at. Did I give you the thing I didn't like about the last world, which would be that you are free to take anything, but I think things are better if you add a little bit of something extra to them. And so for this world, my first build that I like is the Eiffel Tower. I know, it's located in the wrong country in the real life, but and so the first thing I like is the Eiffel Tower. We have confirmation from HackerOneMC that it's not his design, but mostly everything else in this world is. So this isn't HackerOneMC's design, but I love this. It reminds me of my favorite place on Earth, Las Vegas. And we also have a nice Christmas tree next to it, which is always kind of fun. By the way, getting around the world on a happy ghast, kind of a wild time, but it's cool because it means we get to have HackerOneMC give me some commentary on things that we see. So I mentioned years ago in a video of things not to build that a Manga Cube is one of those things that fascinates me, but is so complex in terms of the number of blocks. And I remember I've seen a few times HackerOneMC give the numbers of blocks required, And now I'm realizing why. He has built a level, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4 Mangekyo. This is so big. This is amazing. This is my recommendation number 2, but I'm going to say if you have too much of a block in Minecraft, this is a great thing to do with it. The giant cube is what I've done in my worlds, but this is like a piece of art in its own right, and if you like the idea of a piece of art, then why not? The way that you get it is wither mining, by the way, in the case of Deep Slate. Super, super cool. So, yeah, I think we're going to get off the gas now. This was nice, but come with me. Follow me. So he can keep giving me little tips about the world. Because I like this Minecraft logo, but again, it's not the first time we've seen one of those. I like this. What is this, actually? Is this something from Halo? I'm going to have to assume that it is. So let's sit down here. Oh, okay. Bit of a violent sit down. And let's take a peek at that. I like this as not my design Halo. Yep, okay, it's from Halo. So let's go look at some of the things that we've been recommended, including the Emerald Empire. Let's go there first. Oh, I love this violin. And it's weird. There's an American flag here, but the realm is hosted in the UK. Is HackerOneMC just the most patriotic non-American out there? Let's find out. Oh, I think I see the Emerald Empire from here, by the way. What the heck am I looking at? Maybe. Okay, so they're American, but their server is hosted in the UK, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, this is, I have to assume, the Emerald Empire. This is the most ludicrous looking thing I've ever seen. It's a pyramid, but with a bunch of like extra elements strapped on top of it. And so many emeralds. So many. It's day 1249. How did they get this many emeralds? Also, why wouldn't you make it come up to a perfect peak and a beacon? I guess that's probably design. I like the beacon elements coming out of this. I'm amazed at how this has all come together. I want to see what's down there, actually. Sorry for breaking that. I'll pay the damages later. So this is what it looks like underneath. Actually pretty incredible, too. This is something I can't even recommend you build, because, like, what are you going to do? Are you going to get your hands on, you know, like 18,000 deep slate blocks and then a few thousand emerald? I don't think so. So this is very, very cool, but scale it down. You know how I've been saying I've been liking smaller projects recently? Try something a bit more this size. If you want to go for something that's insane size still, that'll still make people go, wow, this is that. Like, look at it. It's a perfect place to practice your trident throwing skills, but also it's something you could feasibly build in, like, you know, at least a week or something rather than a month. Yeah, this world at 1249 days feels wrong. This is far too much progress for that many days. But let's look around the rest of it and see if that's true. So this is, wait, actually, let's see what the next thing I've got to see is. The Sky Spike, I guess, should be next. No, let's go for the console minigames lobby. Oh my god, look at that desert well. Yeah, you know, actually, I'm going to take back what I said. I think rather than building tinier, we should all be seeking to build on 100 by 100 block scales. If you don't pick a build by the end of this video that you want to be spending the next 8 months working on, then I'll consider this video to have been a failure. But this is the Console Edition minigame lobby, the new one if I'm not mistaken, and again, this is so impressive. How many people play on this realm? How many people play on this world? This is just banana zonkers, you know? I built a Nether portal, same scale this week, but not uploaded here. Oh, this is a world that's like a collection of different things they've built. You know, uploaded. But that's what the word uploaded makes me think. It's really, really cool. Just me 99% of the time. Okay, I actually wanted to come right back to this because I think this is a great example of building something directly from, you know, like this is a shared collective memory from anyone from the console edition. I think it's really cool to build replicas of this. I would love to do this if I had the resources and it was like easy to. I think perfect replicas are nice in that way, but also wouldn't it be cool to like take elements of this, like maybe the fountain and the house, or maybe the fountain and the outside, and then build your own unique house that ties into those two things. I think that there are so many ways that you can take like an element of something you love, and even if you're directly building it into what you make, it could be like a nice homage. Also, he says it's fully furnished. Well, I have to look at that point, don't I? This is like a perfect one-to-one replica, but could it be better? Also, the water bucket's gone sideways, which makes me think that he's even got the redstone functional. Just ridiculous. Just absolutely ridiculous. Oh, yeah, look what I just did. I think I've drained the fountain right there, which means when we go back out, this has to be like a direct copy from the files, because it's so crazy. Look at that. We drained the fountain. Anyway, so let's go look at this sky spike, shall we? Okay, this is the sky spike. It's just a very, 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 very tall tower. It's kind of cool to see like a world that has a lot of verticality from a single high point. Can we go down it? Oh, you can. I'm not going to. But yeah, I think it's also a great place to look at clouds, where I'm not seeing any creeper faces yet. I can't wait to see that for the first time. Again, people that I trust have told me it exists on Bedrock. One day I will see the creeper Easter egg. But in the meantime, let's go look at the Nether house. Oh, by the way, I didn't even mention it because I was so caught up on everything else I saw. They've turned the entire spawn into a slime chunk biome, or rather a slime block biome. And what I love about that is just how it kind of looks semi-natural. With vibrant visuals, it looks a bit weirder, but I love the idea of making your own custom biomes. And if you use any greenish block, even the weirdest green block, it actually still has some of the appealing qualities, if you ask me. But yeah, let's go into the Nether house and see what's in here. Oh, it goes down, and then it gets foggy. Are you seeing that fog? Am I imagining it? I'm gonna have to ask. No, let's not. Let's just go to the Nether. Let's see what's happening over there. It's kind of funny to look at this Nether by comparison to the overworld. And it's a fun reminder, I think, that if you ever look at your world and you're like, yeah, I think I've just about done everything that I can, I think it's a fun reminder that there's always something more you could be doing. Like, I don't think that you have to look at your world as a continuously unfinished project, but if you like doing stuff in your world, why not make villager rails? Oh, it's so laggy over here. Okay, please don't hurt me. I'll hurt you. But yeah, why not build a big pillager house with gold and netherite blocks? You know, there's always more that you could do, and your villager rails could always look prettier. I presume. Assuming your villager rails are not the prettiest in Minecraft right now, in which case I'm sorry. Speaking of being sorry, that ghast is going to be sorry. Look how cool this fight looks from a distance. Anyway, I think that at this point, we do have to have the serious discussion about what could this world do better. Well, I'm slightly confused about what it is. Is it a pure survival world that's a lot of things combined? Is it a creative world that we're playing in survival? That's like an important thing. Is 1250 days enough to do this many things? I genuinely don't know the answer, but the scale of things here is probably actually a little bit too big. I think that this is a controversial opinion, but the more big builds I look at, the more I realize they're fun as a set piece, as a centerpiece, but there is actually... Oh, Poppy Farm. As fun as it is to have a big build as a centerpiece or something in the distance, you do need to have player scale builds too. It's great to have the giant slime. I like this a lot. Oh, there's a little baby slime on top of it. It's great to have the shulker thing too. But I also... Hey, it's a crab. I think it's also great. Hey, wait. What was this? Okay, this is the ultimate Minecraft build. You need one of these in your world. Just trust me when I say that. You do need it. Anyway, with that said, this is an important reminder that your Minecraft world could be made better by building smaller. Or, if you're worried that only big builds matter, you might get more engagement on a Reddit post or a Twitter post or whatever social media people put their builds on, a YouTube video. But ultimately, there's always going to be more of an actual demand from real people for things that they can look at and really interact with. And, oh my god, this is a giant slime farm. I guess now I understand how they got all those slime blocks. But, yeah, I think that if we're going to round out this video from a vibrant visual sense, I think it would be to say that actually Basically, every build we saw today was not distractingly vibrant visuals. I had a few moments where I was like, wait, do we have it turned on, like in the Nether earlier and stuff like that? And that is a good sign. I would say the only moments that it fell down were if we're flying with a firework and we go through a small biome like this swamp. Things get ugly for a second, and then they get pretty again on the other side. Something else that is important if you have a long-term survival world or are looking for inspiration for yours is the r/IBX Toycat subreddit. Obviously, you can go there to post things related to IBX Toycat. Here's something funny of someone referencing how you might have a problem with house fires if you're not subscribed, but more seriously, it's also a great place to post or to look at amazing builds such as this Vibrant Visuals Mall. I love this a lot, and we get posts like this every single day. I think we have the only dedicated Minecraft long-term survival community on the internet, and I think I'm perfectly happy with the subreddit becoming more or less that. And so if you want to post something incredible in your world, or you want to look at great things from other people's, I would recommend checking out that subreddit. And if for some reason it changes your mind, I don't make any money from the subreddit. It's not like a thing I'm trying to do to, squeeze some money out of you. It's just a cool community I think you might enjoy. And speaking of which, I hope that you found that to be true for this video, because I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Yes, that was a very poor decision. Goodbye.